First of all, I wanted to thank your assistant, Eric. He's been very professional, helpful in the times that I've dealt with him, and I know he's dealt with some other people I've communicated with, and they've all found him very professional and helpful. So I'm going to
thank you. Please don't brag on him too loudly. My colleagues might try to steal him away.
Yeah, my name is Brent Stafford. I'm actually a regional coordinator for the Campaign for Liberty. I'm a coordinator for the region that represents the 2nd Congressional District. So Sir Funderburg and Sarah are actually in the district that I coordinate. So, of course, we were a little surprised to see our name in this report. With Campaign for Liberty, just real quick, and for people that may not know a whole lot about it, we're not a partisan organization, but we are an organization that believes in the Constitution. And as another gentleman pointed out, one of the things we do is we go out and we hand out constitutions. We also hand out this one too, which you guys know. We hand this one out. We give people the General Assembly roster and the Missouri roster. We encourage them to, because they won't give us a stack of the blue books, and frankly, I don't want to carry those around, but we encourage people to get the blue books. My point is that we believe in constitutional government. We encourage people, whether that they have a political belief one way or another, to get involved in their constitutional government, to get involved with knowing who their legislator is, calling them up and being a participant in the process. For an agency of our government to point out that people with bad intentions might be in our organization, or that maybe we need to be watched, it's very scary to know that the government is worried about us passing out these vital documents that to me are, to me are more important than just about anything.
I'm sorry, let me just interject you. Which organization are you referring to that was mentioned?
The Campaign for Liberty.
Was mentioned by name?
Absolutely.
Okay.
I forget, it was page
above the flag.
5 or 6.
So it's 2 weeks before our first regional meeting.
Yeah, and actually, this is a good point.
I haven't looked at the report in a couple of months since we had our.
Yeah, we were named in the report. This report came out just a couple of weeks prior to a regional conference that we held in St. Louis. So that was very concerning to the attendees of that meeting to know that they'd already been targeted by the Missouri Intelligence Organization.
Okay. Thank you. I just want to make sure that I knew which organization you're referencing.
The Campaign for Liberty.
Okay, thank you.
And I know you said you didn't want to read a statement, and I didn't really prepare this as a statement, but more as notes so that when I quote something, I'm quoting it accurately. But during some of the other testimony, I heard a couple of things I want to comment on real quickly because they kind of brought up some concerns. I heard a comment earlier that someone felt that the MIAC report really wasn't bad, that it was just bad that it got out. That's pretty troubling to me, that kind of a statement. And there was another question that was asked earlier about whether freedom of information requests, how that was handled, and that basically there's some attorney that's going to look at it and decide whether to release it or not. Are they looking at liability issues as well, or is that part of their factoring in of their decision, or is it purely on the merits of the request? And just so you know, Virginia has House Bill 1007 that is drafted to deny freedom of information requests on the Virginia Fusion Center. So there's legislation going on in another state to go the opposite of what I think most of us would like to see, and more openness and not less. I'm not going to get into the MIAC report specifically. There's a lot of questions, where did it come from, who ordered it, how is it being funded. You guys, you know those questions. You're going to look into those, I have no doubt. but there's been some comments made about, well, trust the government, we're here to help, and you know, I'm sorry, I'm not necessarily inclined to follow that line of reasoning. As an organized, I don't know if I'm really, I guess I'm a community organizer, I'm a regional coordinator for a group of people. My name is on the website, my picture's on the website, my address. You know, I have some amount of concern. Do I have a file with, you know, profiling me? And we participate in a lot of different events. We hold our own events. And one of the reasons I'm concerned that I may have some type of a profile is what happened with the Tea Party several months ago that went on around the country. And there was a FBI directive that was sent to all of their field offices around the country. It instructed their special agents in charge to verify the date, time, and location of each Tea Party within the region and supply that information to the FBI headquarters in Washington. The correspondence termed the Tea Party's political demonstrations and added that the dissemination of the directive was very tightly controlled. Not all agents were privy to this correspondence. The source that provided this memo stated that it was compared to an older classification of a do not file. In addition to obtaining and confirming location and time of each demonstration, each field office was instructed to obtain or confirm the identity of the individuals involved in actual planning and coordination of the event in each specific region, and include the local or regional internet web address, if any. The information was collected by region and then sent on to the FBI headquarters. So they were out there trying to find out who's organizing these events that are protected free assembly and freedom of speech and political discourse. They went on to issue another directive that instructed these special agents in charge to coordinate and conduct either at the field office level and or with the appropriate resident agency covert video surveillance and data collection of the participants of the Tea Parties. The surveillance was to be performed from discrete, fixed, or mobile positions, and was to be performed independently and outside the purview of local law enforcement. This is our federal government telling their agents to go around local law enforcement and profile and identify the organizers of these things. I haven't organized a Tea Party, but I'm an organizer of a region of Missouri. Why should I feel that I'm not under the same kind of scrutiny? I don't have any expectation that I'm not. In fact, I have every expectation that I am, and I conduct myself as though I am being monitored, and I have no sense of safety that I'm not. I mean, this is really bad. This is I'm not going to get into that too much more, but when you combine that with the recent DHS report on right-wing extremism, that again points to constitutionalists as being a potential threat to the government. Well, you know what? Maybe we are. When a government gets so far away from the founding documents and the Constitution that many of us in this room, and I know all of you swore to uphold and defend, when it gets so far away from that document, maybe we are a threat, because we are going out and we're waking people up. This is not a bullet, this is not a gun, but this is absolutely a weapon for the people to take back their government, and I have no qualms about passing it out. Another concern I have is once this, and we've heard about, once the data gets in there, how do you get it out? I don't think any of us know the answer to that question. I wasn't even aware. I saw when somebody had a printout here that any citizen could go onto the MIAC website and enter in a suspicious activity report on anyone. So it's absolutely so easy to get your name in there. How do we get it out? And that concerns me for a couple of reasons. One of which is these fusion centers share information with each other. Again, these are the fusion center. It's local, county, state, federal agencies, in some cases even private agencies, combining their information and sharing them with other states and in the federal government. Right now, this week, FEMA is conducting what's called the national level exercise. I don't know if any of you are aware of what that is, but it's the first major exercise conducted by the United States government that focuses exclusively on terrorism prevention and protection as opposed to incidents, response, and recovery. Now, what I'm reading is from the FEMA website, so I want to make sure I don't misquote them. The NLE 09 focuses on